Hey guys, welcome back to Motorcycle Maintenance Channel. Today on this episode we're going to show you how to change the brake fluid on your sport bike with ABS brakes. Stay tuned. Alright guys, the first thing you're going to want to do is loosen the screw here and remove the cap for the brake fluid reservoir. Cap out. Now we just need to take out this little plastic disc here. Alright, yeah, it looks pretty dirty. So after we loosen the cap, we're going to attach this little hose around the bleed valve on the caliper. And you want to push this until it's tight. Kind of pump it. I already kind of pumped it before with the cap on, and ideally you probably want to pump it with the cap on. Alright, so now to bleed the brakes, well, before we even do that, let's open up our new brake fluid. So this is dot.4 Motul 600, but you can use whatever's compatible with your bike. And this stuff is extremely corrosive. If it gets on any paint, it'll peel it off without any issues. You also want to pick a day that doesn't have very high humidity, because it's hydrophilic, where it means it likes water and it'll absorb any water, and you don't want any kind of moisture in your braking system. So that's open. The reason you want to have that prepared, because this can't ever get empty. If this ever gets empty or past this line and air gets into your lines, this job is going to take a lot longer. You cannot, because you have to bleed all the air out of the system, and it's going to be costly. And the stuff, there's cheaper stuff, but this stuff is $20 a bottle. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the brake pedal pressed down like this. And then I'm going to open up the line over here. Before I can close this line again, before I can let off on this brake pedal, I have to close this back up again. If I don't, it'll suck air back through here and we'll get air in the system, which is exactly what we don't want. So let's think about it. Okay, there it goes. Open it. There's some brake fluid. I can't press it down anymore, so I'm going to go ahead and close it. Okay, it's closed. Now I can let up on the brake fluid. You can see the fluid drops a little in there. Okay, before I open it again, I'm actually just going to go ahead and pour some of this in there. I'm going to hold down on the brake pedal and open this again. Close it. Let off on the brake pedal. Push down and open it. We're going to do this a few times. Okay. All right, guys, we've drained out a lot of it, and it's looking clear coming out now. And it's looking clear coming in, which is good. We have new brake fluid. So now I'm just going to drain it till it's at the appropriate fill level. The meat on this pad is probably at 75%. So I'm going to bring it up to about the 75% mark between the lower and upper lines. And that's good. So we got it all filled up. And as you can see, it's not hard. It's a little bit more of a process because because of the ABS, there's a lot more plumbing, there's a lot more lines for the fluid to go through, so it's a little bit more fluid to drain. But other than that, it's a lot like non-ABS bikes to change it. Okay, put that on. Then you're going to want to tighten this valve up to 6 Newton meters over here on this side. It's pretty tight. Just going to close it there. And then we'll place this guy back over here. And now we'll move to the front calipers. Basically the same procedure. Yeah, when you mess this up once though, you learn to really hate doing this. First thing we're gonna do, just like the rear, is we're gonna remove the cap. Oh, that one's real dark. All right, so now that we're ready, we're going to pump this a little bit until it gets nice and hard. Oh, don't want to spill that. And the good thing is I have my fairings off the bike. So it does spill, it's not huge. If you're doing this with your fairings on the motorcycle, you're going to want to cover them all up because you don't want this stuff spilling on your paint. It will eat away at it. Alright, so just like the back, I'm going to keep it depressed as far as I can. And then I'm going to open it. There's open it. Now before I can release the brake lever, I need to close it again. So now I'm going to close it. Now it's closed. I'm going to release the brake. Okay, I'm going to squeeze it again. And open it. Close it. We're free to release the brake lever. Squeeze again. Open it. And close it. I'm going to open it. My little hose fell off, but that's okay because I did not release the brake lever until I closed the bleeder valve. It's very important that you don't release the brake lever unless you close the bleeder valve, or you will make this job infinitely harder. You'll have to get all the air out of the line. So squeeze in it and open. And close. Open. Closed, so we can release the brake lever. Open. And close. Alright guys, so we're still in the process of draining this, and it takes some time, but like anything, going through the process, we found that after you close this so that you can release your brake lever, once it's closed and you release it, if you come over here and pump it 2, 3, 4 times real stiff, it actually moves more brake fluid through the line at a time. So when you release it again, wrong way. So when you release it again, more fluid is moved through the master cylinder. Close it. And we're just gonna keep on keeping on. Alright guys, so now we're going to do the same thing on the right side of the bike on the last bleed valve, and then we will be done. Yeah.